Hey friends, welcome back to another weekly update. Weekly update number 23 coming to you live. Excuse me, sorry about that. Jeez, I am in the studio this morning, super early. We're getting ready to head out to Detroit, Michigan for Brian Fullerton's Launchpreneur Academy Live, LAL 2025. Couldn't be more excited about where I'm headed. Before I tell you too much about that, I want to break down this week's update and what I learned this week. I spent the week in Phoenix, Arizona at the National Association of Landscape Professionals. Flew out there on Sunday and had a fantastic time. NALP is such a great event. It's such a great community association, and it's really indicative of where the industry is going. There's this excitement. There's this energy that's in the room right now, and it's probably more powerful, moving faster, and maybe a little more uncertain than ever. So I want to break down some of those takeaways. For those who don't know, NALP is the National Association of Landscape Professionals. Their annual conference is called Elevate. They've been doing that for a number of years now, and it's a great time. It's 3 days. We flew out there on Sunday, went to the networking open house on Sunday night, and immediately as I walked in, it was buzzing. I mean, this was like the busiest bar, restaurant, venue I've ever been to at one of these events. And everybody was there with a purpose. Everybody was there to learn. Everybody was there to network. Everybody was there to give. I think that's what I really took away from it. Everybody was there to give something. And as I was talking to a few of my friends and catching up and meeting new ones on that first night, I kind of realized just how lucky we are in the trades. The trades are alive and well. The trades are on a massive up movement up and to the right. We're moving at rapid rates of market capitalization, increasing our total net worth as an industry and increasing the market share that we serve, not just in terms of mowing lawns and maintaining and installing landscapes, but truly the value of our businesses is increasing at an exponential rate. Consolidation is obviously a big part of the market that I've talked to, and I'll talk about that a little bit today. The mergers and acquisitions, the M&A world, private equity, and kind of what I'm seeing in that area. Also, some of the things that we talked about on a panel. I was on a panel with Ben Collinsworth of Yellowstone and Todd Reinhardt, along with John Gohl, that Aspire had put together this panel about AI technologies and emerging ideas in the landscape industry. And what was interesting as we unpacked this is we realized, at least I realized, just how much opportunity is out there in the landscape industry that's not being truly utilized, that's not being truly taken advantage of. For example, I don't think very many people, I think less than 1%, are truly understanding and utilizing artificial intelligence at a high level. And I would put ourselves like right in the bubble. I think we're using it and testing it out, but it's not like it's revolutionizing our business today. It's not like we're firing people or laying people off because we have artificial intelligence taking their jobs. Like, I think artificial intelligence is the biggest thing ever to happen to humanity. I think it's going to change our world, our lives, and potentially replace 80 to 90% of the workforce over the next 10 years, maybe the next 20 years, once we include automation, robots, and electrification. But in the short term, like in this next 6 months, guys, this is your opportunity. Because what I realized this week is that while everybody is using ChatGPT to rewrite their emails, very few are actually building processes, systems, and workflows that integrate artificial intelligence or AI into their day-to-day. Most people have a really tough time articulating the way they utilize AI. Some of the biggest companies in our industry, and I would say in others, say that they use AI at a deep level, and truly they are not using it at a deep level. They're using it in a few areas, but not really. So if you're a small company, this is kind of like my warning plus opportunity for you as a small company. The warning is you must act fast, because the bigger companies are going to catch up. And once they catch up, it's going to be really hard to catch them. it's going to be really hard to disrupt them. But for the next 6 to 18 months, I think there's this like 6 to 18 month window. It could close in 6 months for sure, but it could also be open for another 18 months to 24 months. Right now, you could start a company that is a AI first, robotics and automation first, lean management mindset company, and you could disrupt your competition at an extreme level. Like you could be a very big problem for the biggest company in your market because of your ability to execute at high efficiencies with a lean management overhead, leveraging AI at a high level. Now, it's a lot harder to take a company that's been in existence for 30 or 40 years, like ours, K&D Landscaping, and transition it into artificial intelligence or an AI first company. But if you start a company from scratch that is AI first, which there's a number of examples, not just in the trades industry, but outside of the industry. My best example I could give you guys that you probably know is Leanscaper with Mark Bradley. You can build an extremely efficient, extremely disruptive, and extremely profitable business in a matter of a few months. You can capture massive market share through pricing augmentation, meaning it's a fancy way of saying you're undercutting or pricing much lower than the current market rate for the services that you're providing. And you can mobilize a small group of people at a high level because you're able to use that AI to augment some of the workforce as well. So AI is a huge opportunity, but honestly, no one knows how to implement AI at a high level in our industry today. But that is changing as bigger companies bring on true technology professionals from outside our industry who maybe came from tech, came from AI. But I'm telling you guys, I talk to a lot of tech companies and they are very AI first. So here's your opportunity. That's your opportunity right now. So building on that, $100K minimum salary in the next 3 to 5 years. This is one of my big missions. This is one of the milestones. I've got a few milestones. I'm not publicly announcing too many of these. One of them is to have 50% of our mowed acres done by robots within the year. So by the end of 2026, I want to have 50% of our lawns mowed by robotic lawnmowers. And we've got a partnership with Crest that I'm very confident we're going to make that happen. The other thing we want to do is get our minimum salary to $100,000 at K&D Landscaping. The way we're going to do that is through automation, is leveraging AI, is helping to take our crews from 3 or 4 person crews down to 1 person crews. And that one person being able to run a crew of robots and get a lot more done, maybe get 4 or 5 times the amount of work done than one person could get done today. And if I could help someone get 5x the output, and let's say you're paying minimum wage of $20 an hour, well, 5 times 20 is $100 an hour. That'd be $200,000 a year. I mean, this is very much in range, but it's a number and a perspective that frustrates and scares the masses. It scares the M&A guys because when you're working through a M&A cycle, right, you're bringing on private equity, you're purchasing companies with a plan to sell it in 3 to 5 years, and you have all these smaller companies coming in to disrupt your market with these aggressive strategies, you're going to lose talent with these high wages that our disruptor companies are going to be paying. You're going to have a really hard time competing on price because not only are we paying our team more, but we're actually charging our customers less. Kind of crazy, but it's possible. And you're competing with a very fast-moving target. So a lot of larger companies will identify a competitor, let's just say, and then build a strategy to outcompete that competitor. And I'm all for competition. I love it. But I feel like when you're trying to compete with someone who's moving really fast, it's kind of like aiming at a target. Like if you ever shot skeet, you don't aim at the target, you aim ahead of the target. But the faster the skeet or the target's moving across the field of view, the harder it is to hit that target. And so when you accelerate your change, adoption, and movement as a landscaper or trades company in your business, it becomes really hard to compete with you because you're moving so fast. No one can figure out where you're going and aim to hit there. So you have this inherent advantage utilizing speed as well. So you kind of have these three components working in your favor. That is really exciting, right? Number one, it's the ability to move faster than anyone else. Number two, it's the ability to automate and then pay your team members better than anyone else. And number three, it's your ability to actually charge less than everybody else. I think the person or company that has done this the best is Jeff Bezos and Amazon, or Elon Musk with his electric cars and everything else crazy that he's doing. It's wild, Elon. But Jeff Bezos and Amazon, I mean, with Amazon, they deliver faster than anyone else. They're often cheaper than anyone else. And they actually, I mean, I don't know, maybe we can argue about how much they pay their workers. So maybe they miss on that. They're 2 out of 3. But the truth is, and we cannot, I don't think, have much of an argument on the fact that they're the cheapest and they're the fastest. So there's some exciting stuff there. So, kind of wrapping up some of this rambling I'm doing this early morning. Sorry. 100K minimum wage salary is what we're going for. No one is implementing AI at a deep level and understands AI. So there's another big one that I think we can leverage. I have some new partnerships coming out, guys. So I'm super excited about some of these launches that I'm doing at the beginning of the year. We're starting a newsletter, which is going to have some of those partners in it. I'm going to get insights from our partners, and I'm really trying to tap and connect with the most innovative and explosive companies in our industry and try to bring those to all of you. These are companies that I am partnered with within K&D and I'm using at K&D, and I'm assuring that I love these companies and I love what they stand for and what they mean and what they do. And I think that's a really important part of this. So, to be decided, or to be announced, I should say, TBA, these partnerships. But stay tuned. It's super exciting. You guys already know we're big partners with Crest, and we use Crest constantly. We're big partners with Aspire. We love Aspire software, and we use that on a daily basis. That's like our foundation of our tech stack. We use Greenius, a Granum product, and we use that to train our team, to make our team safer, to help onboard our team faster, ultimately helping our team get to new levels in their career path through that Greenies training system. So, those are just a few of our partners. We have more coming. We have some in the works, and I'm super excited about what we're doing with some of these companies, and the results that we're seeing in K&D are super awesome and exciting. So once I'm confident that those results are sustainable and repeatable, I'm going to share those with you guys. But it's kind of my promise here on Trade Stock. My promise inside the Disruptors is, before I back anybody, before I put my name and my support behind any company or person, I want to make sure it works amazing for K&D, show you the case study, and then you can make your pick. And look, this isn't me trying to make money or trying to influence anything. It's really, I'm trying to create the best business in a box, the best playbook with the best partners, so you can scale your business or you can be the best leader you possibly can be. A big part of the Disruptors is not just business owners. It's landscape professionals, plumbing professionals, HVAC professionals, roofing professionals, people who are not owners, but are in maybe account management roles or above or below. And they come in to learn and to get ahead and to influence their companies for further scale and faster growth. Okay. M&A world. M&A world's on fire. So private equity is continuing to flood the industry, and they're having a lot of success, but the newer private equities, the private equity firms, are struggling a little bit coming into our industry in comparison to some of the strategics. And I'll use the strategics as some of the bigger companies that are already well established. Think of the top 5 big names in the landscape industry that, if you know, you know. They're having some really great traction with acquiring sizable deals. Like 15, 20, 40, $50 million companies are bringing into their platform and growing at a rapid rate. And new private equity firms, especially the startups that are buying a platform that's doing maybe 20, 40, 50 million, and then adding on to that, those guys are seemingly struggling and falling a little bit behind their strategic plan in terms of buying as many companies as they would like to have bought in the last trailing 12 months. I think due to that competition from the bigger companies that are maybe a little better funded, a little better known, and you kind of feel a little better partnering with these big names that you've heard and known for, 20 years versus partnering with someone that just created a new platform 6 months ago, and the name literally was created 6 months ago in a boardroom in New York or Dallas or wherever, San Diego, wherever these guys come up with their names. I always kind of chuckle at some of the names they come up with, but all respect for those guys and what they're doing for the industry. With the caveat, like I think right now, if you're a landscape contractor, HVAC, plumbing, roofer, electrical contractor, and you work or own a business, like what's coming is so freaking exciting. Like your ability to utilize AI, your ability to automate, your ability to leverage, really smart people in your organization is going to create this massive competitive gap in your market, this unfair advantage, as I like to call it. And you can leverage that to grow your company at a very fast rate if that's what you want to do. So organic growth is, I think, one of the best levers to pull in 2026. In fact, that is like K&D's all in on organic growth, not so much on the mergers and acquisitions. We have a very aggressive M&A play that we are working on for the longer term, the 3 to 5 year. But in the short term, you guys, if you can figure out organic growth, like why would you sell? Not only is it the most fun time to be a landscaper right now or a trades professional, but you can make a ton of money and you can grow a valuable business, like super valuable. So I think M&A is struggling on their acceleration of their strategic plan, their acquisitions, because I talked to a guy that's like 50 million and he's just like, dude, what am I going to do when I sell? I don't want to become an employee. I love being an entrepreneur. I love being a CEO. Now, private equity is a great tool. It's just not for everybody right now. So exciting time in the M&A world. Lots going on. We have this really diverse level of groups because as many companies out there like that, there's probably 2 or 3 times the amount of people that I would recommend not selling. There's probably 2 or 3 times that amount of people that I would recommend they should sell, because they've been running it for 35, 40 years and they're ready to hang it up. And there's a lot of those guys that are retiring out. And so that's what's going to feed that M&A engine. It's a lot of the guys at the NALP, a lot of these guys that go to the big conferences. Those are the entrepreneurs that are going to just keep running their businesses. It's the people that aren't going to the shows that I think are going to be the best low-hanging fruit for the M&A guys. Okay, so with that, we're going to wrap up, guys. I've got to run to Detroit, Michigan. Like, I got to leave for the airport literally a minute ago, so I'm already a minute behind. Sorry. I'm on my way. And I got to go talk at this awesome event called Launchpreneur Live with Brian Fullerton. And I'll leave you with this. I believe in what you're doing. I believe in your success. No matter where you're at in life, no matter how tough it's been, no matter how many limiting beliefs you have about yourself today or yesterday or tomorrow, I believe in you. And you can accomplish amazing things. So keep trying, keep testing, keep experimenting, and beyond all, keep disrupting, guys. We'll see you.
Thanks for tuning in to Trades Talk, where the next generation of disruptors comes to raise the bar. If you got value from today's episode, share it with someone in the trades who's ready to level up. For more tools, insights, and community, follow host Justin White and join the movement at jwhitegroup.com.